Forgot to click the button. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bites, whiskey reviews with an 80s twist. I'm your host, Clifton, and tonight I am very excited. I'm always excited, but tonight especially because we're going to be reviewing some incredible limited edition bourbons and whiskeys. So I am very fortunate that I have had the opportunity to get samples of many of these sent to me by the brands. Some of them I spent my own money on, but for the most part, the brands were sending me things this year, and I am so thankful to have received them. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just making it clear up front that these were sent to me by the brand. That's my disclaimer. Let's move on to the actual show, shall we? But good to see so many folks here tonight. It's a wonderfully hot Thursday here in Southern California. It was rainy weirdly this morning and yesterday, but now it's like really warm. So I'm liking the fact that the whiskey we're trying tonight is relatively low-ish proof. It's like under 110 for the most part. So we get to, chill out. I actually had some whiskey over ice right before the stream just to chill out, again, cool off from the day. But everything we're drinking tonight is around 100-ish proof. So good summertime whiskeys, although we're getting into the later part of summer. So, you know what? Drink what you like, what you want. But for me, during the summer, I love a high proof whiskey over ice. But you know what? A low proof, 100-ish proof whiskey, neat, also does the trick. So we're going to be trying some really cool limited release whiskeys. And for the first time in a while, I'm doing a Wheel of Whiskey giveaway. So those of you that have been here on the channel for a while know what that is. If you are curious and you want to get a chance to win samples of all 4 whiskeys featured tonight, plus a bonus special secret sample, check out the Discord server. It's in the pinned message up here. You can join it there. Check the Bourbon Bites channel. There's the details on how to get in on the Wheel of Whiskey giveaway. Those of you who have been here for a while and know the drill, you know the drill. You know how to get in. But for those of you that are new and you are curious and you want a chance to win a 1-ounce sample of every single pour we're having tonight, plus a bonus one, because I always try to give 5, because 5 ounces is a good, you're going to have a great whiskey night, is what I like to say. So, so details are on Discord. Again, pinned message. We will do the Wheel of Whiskey at the very end of the stream in about 45-ish minutes. But first, I want to say hello to quite a few folks here in the chat. I see Brandon was hanging out early. Let's do this. Evening, everyone. Five Fingers also in the chat. High five to you. Steven Sussman in the chat here early, Steven. Nice to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Emily, good to see you. Cheers, y'all. Show some love. Mash buttons and gotta handle some stuff. No worries, Emily. If y'all missed my stream 2 weeks ago, I was live with the lovely Emily, who is a bourbon wrench, or she may be known as a bourbon wench. Great support of the show and really great conversation about diversity and disabilities in the world of whiskey. So check out that stream from 2 weeks ago. So much fun, Emily. You're welcome back anytime. Zopher is in the chat. What's up, Alfonso? Good to see you. Limerick, did I spell something wrong? Probably. I don't put it past myself. No, it's correct in the title. Is it wrong in the thumbnail? I don't know. Probably. I'll fix it. Brandon said, super excited for the Old Fitz. Oh, well, I am as well. This is the first time that Heaven Hill has ever sent me an Old Fitz, so I'm super excited. Again, very thankful. That's why I was a little bit lost for words earlier. I'm usually on their lower tier list. I get their ECBPs and their Larceny, which, is incredible. But this year I got an Old Fitz. So it's my first time, I think, reviewing it for the channel. I've had a couple pours from friends that have had previous releases, but this is my first Old Fitz bottled and bond ever featured on the channel. So I'm very excited. Taste and Sensibility in the chat. Cheers to you. Adam Free is here as well. Yeah, great. Heather Starkey. What's up, Heather? Good to see you. Everyone's excited that you're here. So good to see so many familiar faces. Emily says, stay cool and hydrated. Well, I do have my water here, as always. I don't always remember to drink it, but stay hydrated. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to give away samples of all these really cool pours, but I'm also just really excited to taste them for you guys. So I'm going to do something a little bit different with this, after the stream. I'm going to actually, I think, make individual reviews. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up this stream after the fact and make an individual review of the Laphroaig, an individual review of the Kentucky Senator. And if you watch the live stream, you've probably already seen it, but I know a lot of people can't make the whole hour-long live stream. So we're gonna try to. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna try to like do like little edited, little edited pieces for the reviews. So we'll see how that goes. It may fail, but it's an experiment. I want to try something new here on the channel. Steven said I'm okay with less water. Okay, well Cliffy will be here for sure. Like I said, I had one pour before the stream just to wet my whistle. I'm recovering. Y'all may not know, but like 2 weeks ago, I had like COVID, and like that's part of the reason why, like, not the reason I went on the stream with Emily, but it's like I could not review whiskey that week. My palate was just blown. And then last week it was coming back, and thankfully, right in time for that stream with Jesse Parker from Doc Swinson's. If y'all missed that, another really fun stream tasting through all their new finished whiskeys. So cool what they're doing over there. And yeah, tonight we're doing some really freaking nice whiskeys. So my palate's been restored. I'm all set. Just want to make that clear. But I'm ready to get into some whiskeys. So if y'all are ready too, if anyone's curious, I'm gonna put up a little. I don't want to put that one up. That reveals too much. There we go. I knew I had one somewhere. I'll leave that up there for people that are joining. If y'all are curious, check out the Discord server to get details on the giveaway. Again, very, very easy to enter. Very easy to win. The Wheel of Whiskey will be spinning at the very end of the stream. So let's get into the reviews, shall we? So glad to see. These are all first impression reviews. The only one of these that I've tried. Okay, I've tried two of them. I've tried the Kentucky Senator and I've tried the Laphroaig Cairdeas, but we're going to start with one that I've not tried, and I'm so excited. We're going to start with this. We're going to go up in proof based on each of these. We are going to start. Oh, I forget that I'm going to like post this separately. All right. 3, 2, 1, action. All right, so we are ready to review the Old Fitzgerald Bottled in Bond Spring 2023 edition. This is the brand new release from Heaven Hill. It's a 10-year-old bottled in bond wheated Kentucky bourbon. I was trying to find details on this online. I could not find very much about it, but I do thankfully have a press release here from Heaven Hill, which came along with the bottle. Thank you again, Heaven Hill, for the sample. And gave us a little bit of info about this release. It said it was distilled in 2013, June of 2013, and bottled in spring of 2023. So it says, okay, I was very confused. I was like, June, that's not spring. It says the spring season. So in whiskey, you typically do like a 6-month season, especially with bottled and bond products. So the first half of the year is January through June. Second half of the year is July through December. This was distilled in the spring season of 2013 and bottled in spring 2023. So a 10-year-old Heaven Hill Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, bottled in bond, 100 proof. Y'all know the drill with bottled in bond products. Again, I've never reviewed one of these on the channel. I'm really excited. I've tried some in the past from friends. But yeah, I'm so excited. So let's go and get this poured. And I'm curious, anyone in the chat, let me know. Have you had any of the Old Fitz bottled in bond? What were your thoughts? I know there's like some mixed feelings about it, right? Like, it's 100 proof. It is typically the wheated mash bill. I assume they've kept the same mash bill, right? The mash bill I'm seeing online is 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. So if I'm wrong about that, let me know. But I'm gonna go ahead and get that poured. By the way, is everything good? Sound, audio, video? Because if I'm recording this, I want to make sure it sounds and looks good. So if there's any technical issues, let me know now. By the way, if y'all miss it, Trev was doing a really awesome giveaway for a member of our Whiskey Tube community who's going through a really tough time in the hospital now. If y'all missed it, check out the Bourbon Wrench. They have a GoFundMe there. The giveaway is probably over by now, but it's a great cause. Please go check it out. Yeah, really love supporting those guys and wishing all the best to their recovery. If anyone, okay, so people in the chat, Steven said, I think I had the 15-year. That was really good. Brandon said, I've only had I've only had the 9, 13, 14, and 15 year. Brandon, that's way more than I've had. Oh, thank you so much, Taste and Sensibility. It looks good. It sounds good. I appreciate that. I never know. It's always hard to tell with these live streams, but since this one's being recorded, it's a little more important. But yes, so this is the 2023 release. Let's go ahead and give it a nose. All right. Some familiar Heaven Hill prod. Let me fix that. Some familiar Heaven Hill notes. Of course, my favorite note from the distillery. To me, it's a very distinctive note. It's a bake shop. Now, sometimes it varies. Sometimes it's like a dessert shop. Sometimes it's like a fresh baked bread shop. But for me, this one is it's sweet. It's leaning towards like a cake or like a pastry. Really light, almost like I don't want to say like cheesecake because that's like a little funky, but it has some of those like sweeter, like cream cheese kind of notes to it on the nose. It's not like funky in any way, but it's like a frosting or like a glaze. Really, really bright and really sweet. I mean, it's 10 years old. And there are some older releases. Like I said, there's the 15 year that Brendan's had. I think I had a sample of the 17 year, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this is 10 years old. So of course it has some of those sweeter, younger notes. With Heaven Hill, we've tried some of their older products. We tried some of their younger products. I'm a fan of all of them. This one does read a little bit in the, I don't want to say younger category, but definitely not some of the older, oakier Heaven Hill products. It's got a lot of that cake sweetness. I don't know if it's necessarily yellow cake or like the actual icing on a cake. It's hard to tell in the nose, but it's a really good one. I mean, it's very on profile and on brand with Heaven Hill. So I'm excited. There are tasting notes that they sent me on this here. Let's see if there's anything else other than tasting notes because I don't like reading those. I want to give my honest first impressions of this. Adam Free said the 16-year distillery release is his favorite. Oh man, that sounds. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I had the 17-year, but it's hard to remember. I rarely have the opportunity to try this, so I'm really excited to dive in. Let's see if they have any more info here, just to double check. Just tells you about the bottle and bond. We all know that. Okay, well, if we don't, so if you're curious about what bottle and bond means, like I said, it's 100 proof. It meets the strict requirements of bottle and bond, which are the product of a single distillery from a single distilling season, aka spring 2023 was when distilled spring 2013, released spring 2023, aged a minimum of 4 years. This one's 10, and bottled at 100 proof. So retail on this is $140. So a bit up there. Typically with these releases, they've kind of been a variable. It's hard to find at retail. Let's be real, right? Like it's hard. These typically hit the secondary market, but for 140, again, it's a special release. It comes in a really cool decanter. If you haven't seen this decanter, it's one of the most beautiful decanters just in the world of whiskey. I mean, check out the thumbnail. There's a picture of it there, but they really go all out. So you're paying partially for the glass. People typically say about $10 per year of the whiskey, just as like a rough estimate. 140, you're paying for the glass. I think it's a decent price, but let's see if it's worth it based on taste. Nose is a good start, but we got to give it a try to see if it's worth it. So cheers. Thank you all for tuning in live, and those of you watching the recorded video, cheers to you as well. Okay. I will say, I was a little nervous on the nose. On the nose, I was worried that it was leaning young and not well developed. But I will say, on palate, it does bring in some of those not quite oaky notes. It's not like an oakier, like an older, like an electric barrel proof or anything like that. It's definitely leaning in the mid range of age, which makes sense, right? Like it's 10 years old. That's about right in the middle of what they normally do. It does have a really complex spiciness to it. It's different than a lot of weeded Heaven Hill bourbons I've had. Usually those are a little softer. You usually get a little of the oak. This one's bringing out something a little bit different. It's bringing out a sweetness, and I haven't quite been able to place that yet on first sip. I'm gonna have to go in for a second sip. Cheers. I see Ryan in Delaware is in the chat. What is up, Ryan and Brandon? Well, that brings us to a very special birthday Patreon shout out. Big shout out to Brandon E from Delaware. Happy birthday. Hope you are having a fantastic day. I saw in your story. Looks like y'all are having a great time. Thank y'all for tuning in, spending part of your birthday with me. Cheers to you. Everyone raise a glass for Brandon and, of course, Ryan as well for being both patrons of the channel and for their freaking birthday. Cheers to you, Brandon. Hope you have a great one. Mm. Yeah, second sip is everything that I really liked about that first sip. It's honestly, there's so much sweetness there that's like not it's 68% corn, right? But that wheat is at 20%. That's putting a lot, that's giving a lot of flavor characteristic or opportunity for it, right? Sometimes wheat is a little light. This one though, it brings in like a nice toastiness to it. I like this. I mean, again, I've never reviewed it on the channel. I've had it before, thanks to some amazing friends. But this is a fantastic release. I'm very, very happy with this. I think for $140, I would gladly buy a bottle of it. If not just for the having, I mean, I've always wanted one of the decanters, let's be real. But I really do think this is a fantastic expression of Heaven Hill. I love most of what they do, but you can tell they put a lot of energy and effort into their limited edition releases like this one. And I think, people may say like, oh, 10 years, Elijah Craig's older. It is older. But one, this is softer, it's lighter, it's sweeter, it's a different flavor profile, but doesn't mean that it's not just as decadent, just as delicious. And yeah, let's see what their tasting notes are just to compare. I like doing a little comparison at the end after I've tried it. Well, first I want to read the chat. Silver said, I see them on the shelves marked up, of course. Brenda says, thank you. Oh, thank you for tuning in again, and happy birthday, man. Was it Old Fitz Prime that was a solid budget weeder that you could find mainly in Kentucky? I don't know. Never heard of Old Fitz Prime. I know there was a release that was Kentucky only, but yeah, that might be the one that y'all are talking about. But yeah, I haven't. I don't. No. I've only had the Heaven Hill, the old discontinued one of that. Let's see what they give this. Here's their tasting notes again, based on the press release. They say brown sugar and molasses on the nose, light baking spices with orange peel. Again, I did get those spices up front. I was really impressed by how much spice I got on this, with it being a wheated mash bill. It says palate of butterscotch, subtle oak, and cloves. Finish is long and warm with tannins and peppery tingle, followed by a hint of barrel char as the finale. I didn't necessarily get the barrel char. Again, this didn't drink like an older, like a highly aged bourbon, but it did drink like a really balanced. Again, I got all that spices. Like I said, I didn't specifically name the spices, but I did get that spiciness. That's what stood out to me. Something I don't typically get on a wheated bourbon. So I think this is a winner. I would buy a bottle of this if I could find it for retail. So I'm curious if anyone who has had this, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, this just came out. It is a spring 2023 release, but the press release didn't come out till this month. So I'm very excited to be maybe one of the first to try it. I've seen a couple channels have done it. Haven't watched their reviews because I try to be honest, my first real impressions. But thank y'all so much for watching. Cheers. And that is the end of the recorded video. Again, we're still going. But I want to make sure to be able to separate these into individual videos. So I appreciate y'all. I promise I'm still reading your chats and stuff. It's just like I want to get my intro, get my outro, get it all right, what I miss in the chat? You'll get Adam's offering. Oh man, y'all are trying to really get me to come to Memphis. So a few folks in the chat are doing a bit of a Memphis meetup for Labor Day weekend. And I'm so jealous. I wish I could make it, but yeah, I enjoy Fitz at retail. Also, hi Patrick. Yeah, no, I agree. I would love to get it at retail. Yeah, seriously, I'm really impressed with that. Probably, I don't normally put things like this in my top whiskeys of the year, but I'm not normally sent stuff like this. So you know what, Heaven Hill, maybe they want to get in the running. Maybe that's why they sent me this press sample. All right, but we got some more new whiskeys. Again, reminder for those of you that missed it at the beginning, I am doing a giveaway. We're gonna do a Wheel of Whiskey giveaway right now. If you enter, you're basically guaranteed samples of all of these whiskeys. So if you're curious about trying that, again, all the details are on Discord. The link is pinned in the chat over there. It's in the description below. Now, if you're not, someone that wants to do super chats, I do have a Patreon. I have a tier called Bourbon Terabytes. That's the $50 tier, but every single month you get a monthly tasting. And I have a good feeling that some of these are going to make this month's monthly tasting. So if you are curious, you've been curious about trying that, join patreon.com/bourbonbites or shoot me a message if you're curious about it. But yeah, it's probably a good time to get in if you're curious about that. All right. So y'all ready to move on to the next one? We got 4 whiskeys to get through here. Not too many, but plenty to talk about. Let me know what y'all are drinking on. Y'all haven't really told me, but curious what y'all are drinking. imagine a lot of folks are still watching Trev's giveaway tonight, which I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. But yeah, he's still live, and Time Whiskey's live as well. But you know what? I appreciate all you that are here. Hey, since we are a smaller crowd tonight, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. I know like everyone always asks for that, but it helps a lot, especially when it's like a smaller crowd that's watching live or watching the replay. Does really do help the channel. So hit the thumbs up. And if you watch the individual reviews after the fact, hit the thumbs up on those as well. I know you've already done it, and it's 4 clicks. It's 4 clicks. Promise you won't run out of thumbs up on YouTube. At least as far as I know. They're not going to ban you from doing it. But Cheech is in the chat. What's up, Cheech? Good to see you, man. Hey, I've been seeing you around other people's chats tonight, so thank you for stopping in, man. Hope you're doing well. Tony Pack Jonas says, I'm here and I'm in. Just took a cat nap. Well, Tony, right now, you have pretty good odds to win these samples. That's all I got to say. Again, all I got to say. Jason Sensibility says, Dickel 15 year right now. Nice. What is the proof on that one? I've had some variables in them. Some of the lower proof ones I don't love, but some of the higher proof ones I really do love. Oz coming in with the competition. $5 super chat. Yeah, got some competition there, Tony. But yeah, all the details. Again, if you've been to the channel before, you know how we do the giveaways. I'm a little more hesitant about mentioning how we do them on the live stream. So pick up context clues. Check out the Discord. I'm putting the info out there for you guys. But yeah, Tony and Zophar are in to the Wheel of Whiskey giveaway at the end of the stream. Cheech said, making the rounds, so to speak. Well, Cheech, I appreciate you being one of the stops on your tour day bourbon. Tony is, your chat. I see Big Vic is here. Big Vic, cheers to you. I've been seeing all the Pours in the Park pictures, and I'm so jealous. Y'all had an absolute blast. I hope to make it one year. Honestly, this one slipped right by me. I had heard people mention it, but I completely didn't follow it. I probably could have made it, but you know what? Next year, I'm so glad so many of y'all got to meet up. I'm just incredibly jealous. Let's get it going, Cliff. Oh, Brandon's in for the run as well. Well, maybe you have some birthday luck. We'll see. Adam says, still hydrating after fixing an underground plumbing leak in the backyard. Oh, that's no fun. Ooh. Yes, please hydrate with both water and lots of whiskey. All right, Bourbon Noob Patrick is coming in. He is wanting these samples. So y'all are all into the Wheel of Whiskey. Again, we're going to spend that in about 20 minutes. So y'all still have some time. Get it in. This Dickel is 84.4 proof. Okay. I'm curious, how do you think about that? That's lower. I think the one that I had was like 49. So 49, math, 98, something like that. Wow, that's pretty low. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that one. Do you like it? I'm sure. I mean, you're drinking it, so you must like it. Ryan is drinking Fiddler ASW. American Single Whiskey? What is ASW? Tell me. I'm ignorant. Let's see. Clifton just undid a button. Is that time? No, I didn't. I've been 2 buttons down all night. I got a 3rd button. We'll see. We'll see how many super chats we get. Ryan said, because today is a great day. It is a great day. Happy August. I mean, we did an August stream last week too, but this year is flying by, but I'm having so much fun. Hope you guys are too. If not, hope you at least enjoy your Thursday nights drinking with me. So cheers to that. Cheers, Ryan. I appreciate that a lot. Wheel of Whiskey is getting bigger. Oh, it's getting big. It's getting big in here. These are good samples to taste. I agree. We've only made it through one. Come on, Cliffy. Get going. I'll button a button now that Steven's going to be self-conscious about it. You might get this unbuttoned. If we get another super chat, we might unbutton the button. It's going to be that kind of night. Oh, well, Big Vic sent that before I said that. I never win, but I'm in. All right. Y'all are doing it. Y'all know the drill. Tasty and oaky for 84 proof. Nice. Right on. Glad you're enjoying it. I haven't had one in a while. I had some of the initial ones that came out, but I'm glad to hear that one is hitting the spot. Cheers to you. All right. We're ready to move on to our next whiskey. So next, I don't say next. I'm thinking recording. So now we're going to review the Yellowstone 2023 Limited Edition Bourbon. This came out in July of this year. I have not had any of the Yellowstone LEs. I've heard so much about them. I know that they are very prized in the world of limited edition bourbons that come out every year. This one's interesting. It is finished in Tokaji casks. Now, I could pretend to know like what that is. I am assuming it's either a Japanese oak or it's like a Japanese spirit plum wine. I don't know, But thankfully, the kind folks at Yellowstone sent along this press release in addition to the sample. So thank you so much for sending this over for a review. This is my honest opinion, as always. But let's read a little bit about this. This is from Master Distiller Stephen Beam, of course, who has been at Yellowstone for many years. Yellowstone is technically under Limestone Branch. Haven't had a chance to visit them. I've heard some really cool things about their distilleries, though. So this is a blend of a 7-year, 13-year, and 16-year-old bourbon finished in Tokaji casks. So let's see if they tell us a little bit about that, because again, I'm very ignorant when it comes to that. By the way, it's 101 proof. It was released with 10,000 3-in-1 cases. So let's say that's 30,000 bottles. Okay, decent amount. $100 a bottle. Sounds good. Starting this August. So these are out now or this month. Let's see. As he has done with his limited edition Yellowstone bourbon since 2015, Beam hand selected the 3 aged bourbons, which were then blended and finished in Tokaji cast. Tokaji is a traditional sweet wine. Oh, wow. We're editing this. We're editing this because I'm stupid. I just assumed Tokaji was kind of like Mizunara or anything in that world. It is not. Tokaj, Hungarian. All right. Y'all are seeing the Cliffy that never makes the cut. That's what happens when I don't read a press release before I do a live stream. That's the whole point. That's the beauty. You know, a lot of people won't watch this live stream. You guys will. So let's backtrack. Let's sound a little smarter, right? Tokaj, right? Where did I say that? Donnie said it, I think. Tokaj. Hungarian sweet white wine. Oh, wow. I'm so stupid. All right. Take 2. Here we go. All right. Next, we are reviewing this new Yellowstone release. This is the 2023 LE release from the brand. Came out in July of 2023. It is a blend of 7, 13, and 16-year-old bourbons that have been finished in Tokaj casks, which is a Hungarian sweet white wine that my viewers thankfully told me about. I'm not very familiar with it. I honestly thought this is just me being an ignorant guy from South Carolina who lives in California. I assumed it was like a Japanese oak. I was thinking like Mizunara, like that kind of realm of thing, but actually it's a Hungarian sweet white wine, which is really fascinating. I don't think I've had very many white wine finished bourbons. I mean, I'm thinking of like some what's the sweeter Sauterne. So I've had some Sauterne finished whiskey, but never a Hungarian sweet white wine. I do not know what that tastes like, but I'm very, very excited to give this a try. Of course, shout out to Stephen Beam, who is their master distiller. He has been doing this program since 2015, doing these special releases. This is the first one I've tried. I've not had any of these before, so I'm curious to see that this Tokaj. So I'm curious to see what this Tokaj cask has to offer. Of course, 101 proof, as with all of these limited editions, and from Limestone Branch. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, but let's go and give it a pour. All right. So Yellowstone, I reviewed their they had a estate grown release last year. I reviewed that. It was definitely like not quite my palate, but this is, of course, I assume, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. We can edit this too. This is a source Kentucky bourbon. I don't think they're distilling this. Like I said, it's 7, 13, and 16 years old. I don't have the info here on this. Let's see if the press release says anything like where it's from. Nope. No info here. The distillery started in 2011, so I don't necessarily think these whiskeys are from then. Tony calling me out. I love me some Japanese oak plum wine, finished a Hungarian bourbon from Wyoming. Y'all, that's what happens when I don't. That's the beauty of these first impressions, right? But doing it with you guys makes me feel less of an idiot because, and I still feel like an idiot, but I can make myself look less of an idiot. So let's go ahead and give this a nose. Ooh, I get a lot of oak. I mean, like I said, 7, 13, and 16 year. Those older bourbons are definitely coming out on the nose. I'm getting some really rich, like dry oak notes. Like it's not as sweet as like some of the other bourbons I was drinking earlier tonight. It's definitely in the first of all, for 101 proof, this nose is jumping out of the glass. It's almost hitting me like a high proof, like cast strength release. It's got a little bit of dried fruits, like a little bit of raisin on the nose, but like the most dominant thing is that oak, which for me, someone that loves a oak bomb of a bourbon, this is right up my alley. I'm not really getting any sweet wine notes though. Like I said, I'm getting a little bit of raisin, but definitely none of the like brighter citrusy white wine notes. Again, Hungarian white wine, not familiar with, but I'm curious to see what it does on the palate. So cheers. Ooh. That's so interesting because I feel like I had just drank the Old Fitz, and to me that was like so spicy. This is so mellow. It's it's mellow, but the oak is still the dominant flavor. It's so rich, so deep, dark. Again, if you don't like those darker, really oaky notes in a bourbon, you may not like this, but I do. I love some older bourbon. 13, 16 year, like heck yes. There is 7 year in here as well, but I think that older bourbon is 100% shining through. Yeah. I do struggle to find those finished notes, but the base bourbon here, the blend that was used for this is top notch. Again, $100 retail price on this. I think it drinks like $100 bourbon. I do not think that's a bad price at all. I would pick up a bottle for that price. However, if you are looking for some of those sweeter like white wine notes, I recommend a Sauterne finished bourbon. I've had a few of them that have been really interesting and really dive into that white wine complexity, the sweetness, the honeysuckle, all that. This was a little subtle when it comes to the finish, but man, does it make it up. Man, does it make up for it with a solid blended bourbon. I mean, well done, Stephen Beam, and all the folks at Yellowstone at Limestone Branch. My first time trying a limited edition from the brand, but I gotta say, I give it a recommendation. This is a winner for me. I just wish I could pick up more of that finishing cask. To me, it's not jumping out of the glass. The whiskey is, again, great whiskey. I would be curious to try other releases that are finished in different barrels. Maybe they do take on more of those characteristics. This one to me just is whiskey forward, bourbon forward, and as someone that loves that oaky, rich bourbon, this is one for me. If you're if you've tried this, make sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you've tried any of the other releases, let me know if the finish on it doesn't shine as much as some of the other ones, or if it's actually on par with the other ones. Maybe they always let the whiskey or the bourbon shine. That could be what they do. I'm really curious. It's the first one I've tried. So thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, cheers, and I'll see you next video. And if you're watching live, hello again. I'm back. I did not try last year's LE. I see Brandon's question. This is my first time having it. Again, super solid base. I think this is a really fantastic bourbon. So excited to have it, but I don't know. I'm not getting that not getting that sweet white wine on the finish. That's why I'm curious if anyone Brandon, did you have last year's? Because I or anyone in the chat, has anyone had last year's? Did it have a lot of the cask influence? Because this one definitely doesn't. Taste. I remember the Thomas H. Moore finish in Chardonnay. Oh man, that Chardonnay one. I mean, I reviewed on the channel. Did not like that Chardonnay one. Was weird. White wine. Okay, That's a good point. That's a white wine too. It's got to be a sweet white wine. That Chardonnay cask was weird. I said it tasted like something that I don't want to repeat on this channel, but I got some really weird tasting notes on that one. Was not a fan. Yeah, the other Thomas S. Moores were great. The Cabernet was really good. I like that one. And there was there a Madeira? Maybe there wasn't a Madeira. They had a lot. They had like a first edition and a second edition, but Silver's laughing at me probably in my YouTube outros. But you know what? I gotta do what I gotta do. This is an experiment, right? Again, another reminder, Wheel of Whiskey giveaway at the end of the stream. If you want to get in on it, hop this banner up again real quick. There we go. For anyone new, y'all want to get a sample of all 4 whiskeys tried tonight, plus a bonus pour. So I always love bonus pours. Also, if y'all didn't know, I do a monthly retro movie night on, that says it's this Friday. It's not this Friday. Ignore that. But We do a retro movie night for everyone $5 and up on Discord. We've watched some 80s hits and some 80s I don't want to call that a hit, but I always do a poll. We do a watch party on Discord. So much fun chatting through it on the text chat and then doing an after party. That's only $5 a month on Patreon. Of course, $10 gets you access to our after party, which we're doing tonight. So if you want to get in on that, as well as some of the higher tiers, get access to the monthly whiskey tastings, which is one of my favorite things ever. Check out patreon.com/bourbonbites. There's a 30-day free trial to the $10 tier. So you would get a movie night for August. You would also get our after party hangout. So if you're curious about trying, now's a really good time. Just throw that out there. Throwing it out there. But Patrick says I picked up a 10-year, 10-month OESQ tonight. Once the fire in my mouth is out, I'll crack into it. I was like, what? I'm like, oh, mango habanero wings. Okay. Habanero wings are definitely, yeah, whiskey and like spicy, it just doesn't work for me. We know you'll edit this great. Oh, thank you. It's gonna be a simple edit. It's not gonna be like a crazy, not that I go crazy in the edits, but it's gonna be a little more simple. What movie? I don't know. That's up to y'all. I saw some suggestions on Discord. So some of you have left some suggestions on our movies and TV lounge. If you have another suggestion, leave it. We're gonna do a poll on Patreon very soon. So yeah, let me know your suggestions. But let's move on. We got 2 more whiskeys to get through tonight. We got about 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and get everything set up for this next one. All right. So this one I'm really excited about because I reviewed last year's release and it actually made my top 10 whiskeys of the year. So I'm talking about Kentucky Senator Bourbon. I had release number 3 for my top 10 of 2022. This is the brand new release. This is release number 4 from the brand. This is a 107 proof 8-year bourbon. And it's named after John Sherman Cooper, which someone that's not from Kentucky, may not know who that is. I obviously am not from Kentucky, nor do I know who that is, but thankful to the folks at Kentucky Senator. They sent me this press release as well as the bottle. So huge shout out to those folks. Let's go ahead and see who John Sherman Cooper was. Honestly, I have no idea. All right. He was a Republican of Somerset, Pulaski County, served 3 non-consecutive partial terms in the U.S. Senate before being elected to 2 full terms in 1960 and 1966. He's actually one of the most consequential Kentuckians of the 20th century. He served as a state representative, county judge, circuit judge, as well as U.S. ambassador to India and East Germany. He was apparently a close friend of President John F. Kennedy and later served on the Warren Commission, which investigated the assassination of JFK. So, really cool. I read a little bit about him. He was very important during the post-World War II era of Kentucky's history. Again, not from Kentucky, so I don't know, but he was one of the most popular figures of the Commonwealth. So this whiskey is named after him. Again, 8 years old. Different batch, of course, from last year's release, but I'm excited to give it a try because, like I said, last year I was blown away by Kentucky Senator, so I can't wait to dive into this 4th batch from the brand. Again, 8-year-old Kentucky bourbon. And again, on the back, they give us the same info we basically gave here. One of them, yeah, basically the same thing. So in terms of the distillate, we don't know too much. It does say it's a very small batch distilled in Asian Kentucky, bottled by Bluegrass Distillers in Lexington, Kentucky for Kentucky Senator Spirits. Now, in the past, they've revealed the mash bill. So I'm curious if they give us a little info here on the mash bill of this whiskey. Not there. Okay. Hold on. Let's see what I can find on Google. Is this the same one? There we go. Got the mash bill. All right. So the mash bill on this one is 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. If you're curious about where this is from, you can probably do a little research on your own. But I'm really excited to dive into this. Again, 8 years old. Price on this one. Let's see what they say. They don't say. Oh, there we go. Suggested price on this is $135. So a bit up there. Again, it is a limited release. But based on last year's release, I got high hopes. Let's go and give it a nose. Oh, that's an interesting nose. I'm almost getting like something about this reminds me of my childhood. Like, not to say that I drank bourbon in my childhood. I definitely didn't, but I'm getting some of like, oh, this is like a weird note, and I don't think I've ever said this on the channel, but I'm getting like an art classroom, like not like paint necessarily or like crayons or anything like that, but I'm getting a bit of a, I don't know. There's something that kind of smells like I don't want to say paper because that sounds weird. It's not like a bad note at all, but it's something nostalgic for sure. I think it's getting a little bit of that oak. Maybe it's coming across a little bit more like a construction paper. Maybe I don't know. I was gonna say that's definitely not what I expected on the nose, but it's not bad at all. It definitely is sweet. Again, high corn mash bill, so that makes sense. Only 20. It's 21% rye, 4% malted barley. So definitely in line with what I expect from that mash bill, but it does have a bit of like a, again, construction paper, like not like cardboard. Cardboard's like a note that I don't typically love. It's not quite that far. It's more of like a, I mean, okay, maybe I'm crazy. Have y'all ever smelled construction paper? Like, the colored paper that you get is like the blue, the red, whatever color. I definitely think I get a little bit of that note on this. Maybe it's a dye, the dye that's on the paper. I don't know. Again, I'm just a whiskey drinker. I don't work in the paper industry. Even though I grew up, fun fact, I grew up next to a paper mill. My entire childhood, I smelled paper being made. So maybe I know a thing or two about paper. But yeah, not bad at all. It's definitely surprising, but let's go and give it a taste. Cheers, y'all. Okay. You know, I judged it a bit on the nose. To me, this has a bit more of a doesn't have a super long finish. I will say that. Again, it comes in at 107 proof. It drinks pretty light for that, but I will say it does have a nice palate. I think it's got a little of the oak. It's got a little bit of like a tartness there. Like, don't want to say orange, maybe orange peel. Let's give it another sip. Yeah, it's got like a bit of like an old fashioned kind of flavor. Definitely has some of that orange peel, like I said earlier, but it has some other characteristics that are almost reminding me of like a dusty like bookshop or like a attic, which is a note that I really love. Like that sounds like again, that also sounds like a weird note, but I love that dusty kind of like, oh, this is vintage note. Not that it necessarily tastes like a vintage whiskey, but it does have a bit of a, I don't know, like it always gives me like a sense of like mystery, like, oh, an old bookshop, what can I discover? I get that in the palate on this. And I think it definitely that's the through factor that I really enjoy across this, whether it's like tip of the tongue, back of the palate, it kind of carries through from the beginning to the end. Finish is a little light, I will say. I kind of expected the finish to be a little bit longer, but especially with it being 107 proof, that's definitely one of my favorite. Like 107 to 110, I always say is like one of my favorite proof points. I think it does drink a little light for that. But it's a very solid bourbon. Now, at the price, let me backtrack. But it's a really good tasting bourbon. I'm not upset with that at all. Now, I do got to say, at the recommended price point of 134.99, that is a little high for me. It's 8 years old. We see other whiskeys that are in the same 8 to 10 year range that, the LEs are in that price range. But, not, no, I'm not going to say that. That sounds like really shitty. I was going to say something about the bottle because I was going to compare it to the old Fitz that I just reviewed. That's not fair. For $135, that's upper end of what I typically spend on a bottle. For an 8-year-old bourbon, that's not necessarily like they tell you the mash bill, so you kind of can guess where it's from. I don't know. This one just doesn't quite, to me, justifies the price point. I think it's a really solid bourbon. I would buy this every day at $60. I do worry that it has a bit of a premium that for my palate doesn't quite match up. So I feel like while it is a really good bourbon and a really cool story, I love learning about history, especially about Kentucky, because I didn't grow up there. So hearing about these famous senators that have had such an impact on Kentucky history is really cool and really fun. And again, I only read y'all half of the press release. It's all on their website if y'all are curious to learn more about John Sherman Cooper. But yeah, really solid bourbon. Do I think it's worth 135? Not for me personally, but I'm very, very thankful that I had a chance to review it. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have had a chance to try this one or any of the Kentucky Senators. Curious to hear your thoughts. Like I said, last year's release was one of my favorite bottles of the year. This one doesn't quite do it for me. I don't know if it's the blend or I don't know, just doesn't quite hit the spot for me this year. But again, it's a really solid bourbon. Curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Cheers, and I'll see y'all next video. And that is review number 3. Look at me knocking them out. Yeah, like again, nothing's wrong with that. It's not a bad pour. Also, hi Swan. I see your comments. Taking a break from drinking while I study, so I just finished them just in time. Oh, nice. Y'all swap some samples. Very cool. For those of you tuning in, I'm doing a bit of an experiment with this stream. I'm going to do like little individual reviews. I'm going to edit out of it, but I think this should be a lot of fun to watch the live stream too, because like I get to interact with y'all. And we're doing the Wheel of Whiskey giveaway, which Adam just dropped some info. Welcome to the Tokaji. Well, the Tokaji bit had me rolling over here and screaming at Cliffy on the screen. So better add me to the madness wheel tonight. Yeah. Well, it's not a bit. I'm just stupid. Adam, you are into the Wheel of Whiskey giveaway. Reminder for those just now joining, you will get a sample of every pour we tried here tonight, including this year's Spring 2023 Old Fitz 10-year bottle and bond, Yellowstone LE 2023, Kentucky Senator 2023, and the one we're about to review, which I'll have to stay tuned for. But we are doing a Wheel of Whiskey giveaway in about 5 to 10 minutes. We got one more to get through, though. So bear with me. I'm still reading your chats, by the way. Like, don't think that I'm just like recording this and not reading the chats. I'll take a break and talk to y'all. So please chime in don't feel like you're interrupting. That's one thing that I worried about doing this format is like y'all think you're interrupting. You're not. Like I'm an editor. Like I can edit anything out. So do not worry. Chime in with your thoughts. Let me know as you're watching live. Have you had this? Do you think I'm lying? Do you think it's like amazing, or do you think it's awful? Let me know. May not feature it in the recorded review, but I will definitely read it. All right, y'all ready for the last one of the night? I'm excited about this one. It's definitely it's a bit of a transition from what we've been drinking, but cannot be more excited. Now we are going to try the Laphroaig Cairdeas or Card. Okay, how do you pronounce Cairdeas? Let me fucking get this right. Perry made me self-conscious because he tried to say it like 3 different ways on his stream, and I'm like, oh shit, have I been saying it wrong? How do y'all say it? Give me a phonetic spelling in the chat. I've always said Cairdeas. Cairdeas. Is that wrong? Cairdeas. Pronounce. Yes, I Google how to pronounce things on YouTube. Cairdeas pronunciation. How does one pronounce Cairdeas? I found a Reddit thread. Even if I'm not going to record a whole review saying it like that and being wrong. Cairdeas. Okay. Not Cairdeas. That is a whole different whiskey. Not to say I'm not familiar with that, but it's a whole different whiskey. Cairdeas. Okay. Donnie's reading the same Reddit thread I'm reading. I see that Reddit thread, Donnie. All right. Take 2. Next up, we are reviewing the latest release from Laphroaig in their Cairdeas line. This is the White Port and Madeira cask finish. This is the 2023 release. I absolutely loved last year's release. I cannot get enough of it. So I'm so excited to try the 2023 release of this. I just picked it up from my local liquor store. # not sponsored. I bought this myself. As soon as I saw it pop up, I knew I had to give it a try. So this is again, I already said that. So this is 52.3% ABV, 104.6 proof. So y'all know this. This checks 2 of my boxes. I love a high proof Scotch, and I love a peated Scotch that is finished in different casks. I don't love a typical like bourbon cask. Y'all are seeing the behind the scenes, but I'm just reading the chat. This combines 2 of the 2 things I love. I already told you one of them. Second one is The second one is a peated Scotch that's been finished in a wine cask. That's always like my go-to, whether it's a port or a sherry cask. I love that. So you're combining the high proof and the cask finish. So I have high hopes. Again, last year's release was the PX cask. At least I think so. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the last one that I bought, the PX Cairdeas cask strength. Was I wrong? Was it a different one? 2022 Laphroaig Cairdeas. Was that Warehouse 1? That was Warehouse 1, wasn't it? That's why I thought I did a little bit of a back step there. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. I did like Warehouse 1 though. Don't get me wrong. I did like Warehouse 1. This one though, the port was way better. I think it's the 2021 one. Let me just double check before I say it. Yeah, the PX cast was 2021. All right. It's all good. I fixed it. We can fix it in post. All right. So as some of y'all know, I've loved the past 2 years releases of this. The PX cask from 2021 was one of my favorite whiskeys ever. It still is. I still literally have, I'm holding it right now, apparently. I was looking it up because I was like, I was confused about the 2021 and 2022. Last year's was the Warehouse 1 release. I also really enjoyed that one. Didn't get a chance to review it. I only had a sample from a friend. But man, I love these cask finishes. Like PX Sherry is definitely intense. Again, I'm nursing this bottle. I'm savoring it. It's such a good release. But I'm so excited to give the 2023 release, the White Port and Madeira cask, a try. Let's give it a pour. Brandon says, I hope you like this one because I'm a big fan. Well, Brandon, I'm excited to dive in. I will say, I did have a pour of this last night. I was very curious. Actually, it wasn't last night. It was when I picked it up. So it was Monday night. I was like, I couldn't resist. I'm like, I gotta give it a try because I've been curious to try this for so long. It came out earlier this year. It's been out a minute, but I couldn't find it for a really good price. Again, it kind of hit not quite secondary, but it definitely got up there in price before I had a chance to get it. Thankfully, my store got a bottle recently, and I'm very excited to pick it up. Let's give this a nose. Oh, it's the typical Laphroaig. Like, you know what? I've grown to love Laphroaig. I used to not like. I always said Laphroaig was more of the medical kind of peat, like the more iodine, like hospital, like burning hospital note. I've heard people say. I think it's growing on me. To me, it is a different kind of smokiness. It's not quite like a meaty kind of smoke. However, this one with the White Port and the Madeira, it is leaning in that territory. I mean, it's almost reminding me of like an Ardbeg on the nose, which is one of my favorite distilleries in Islay, because it has that meaty quality. I don't think I typically get the meaty quality on a Laphroaig, but I don't know. Something about this one, it's hitting that flavor profile that I really enjoy. Has anyone tried this yet? I'm curious. It's been out for a while. That's why I asked. It's been out since it actually came out, was it December of last year? But it's technically a 2023 release, so whatever. Donner Pass Whiskey, cheers. Good to see you. Yeah, this has all that meaty goodness that I really love about a good peated Scotch. Definitely surprising for a Laphroaig. Again, the PX one I really love because I love that finish. So I don't know, it's a little bit different. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Cheers, y'all. So on the palate, it's a little more smoky. Like, not I don't want to say sooty. Sooty's has negative connotations. A little more smoky than meaty. When I say meaty, meaty. Like, I know it's not an official distinction, but a lot of Islay Scotches to me have a meat, like a barbecue characteristic. This doesn't necessarily have it on the palate. It does on the nose. Let me go for a second sip though, because I feel like maybe there's something it's like a bit of like a sweeter barbecue though. Diving back in on a second sip, I stand corrected. I'm back into the meaty barbecue territory. It's almost like I can envision the smoke rings around this barbecue that I'm eating, drinking right now. It has that smokiness. It's like this has been smoked for, I don't know how long you smoke a brisket. I've never cooked it. I've only enjoyed it. But this has that characteristic. It's sweet. I think that I don't know if it's the White Port or the Madeira that's giving it that really it's like a delicate sweetness. It's not overpowering. It's definitely not like, I wouldn't say fruity at all. It's more of like a glaze. It's like a, I don't want to say cherry because I'm thinking that cherry wood smoked, but like, I don't think I'm too off with that. Like cherry wood smoked bacon, I'm getting that vibe. I'm curious for those in the chat that have had this. I know Brandon said or was it Brandon that said he had it? Yeah, Brandon in Delaware said that he's had this one. Big fan of it. Do you get like a bit of like a bacony note? I get that for sure. Yeah, definitely a lot of interesting things going on. Tony just got it last week. Meat and Pete. Sign me up. Sign me up. Repeat. Campfire smoke. First sip, yes. Second sip, it's definitely like a smoke ring on some barbecue. Sweet ashy smoke. Fifth quarter tailgate. Cheers to you. Hey, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, this Laphroaig Cairdeas, it's definitely very, very different from the past 2 years' releases, right? The Warehouse one was more of the ex-bourbon cask. It definitely wasn't my typical flavor profile, but something about it was super balanced and it just worked really well. The 2021 release, the, what was it? I keep putting the ball in the wrong place. The Cask Strength PX Sherry Cask was absolutely one of my favorite whiskeys ever. It still is. If y'all can find a bottle of that, let me know. But this is in between the two. I still think the PX Sherry Cask from 2021 is my favorite. This is, to me, better than the Warehouse one. So if you like last year's, which I also did, check this one out because, again, it has the sweetness, it has the smokiness. If you are a barbecue lover like myself, you might also really enjoy this. Now, price-wise, it's a great question. I don't actually know the price on this one. Oh, I have an age gate. Let me get through that. Gotta love these. All right, let's see. So it says this limited edition single malt is a combination of Madeira and white port cask. 3/4 of the whiskey is matured in second fill Madeira cask, released smoky, spicy, and sweet fruit flavors. The final quart has been finished in first fill port casks. The majority of these are white port, adding a hint of crisp fruit and a deep woodiness to the flavor. It's a new take on Laphroaig that plays to our strengths, welcoming friends old and new. And I will say, that's very, very accurate. I love this. This is actually one of my highlights of my night. Like, seriously, I'm curious. I like how I'm like trying to find the retail on it. I literally just bought a bottle. Let me just see what I paid for it. Again, this is the one I bought. So let me see. How much did I pay for this? I'll be real. If I overpaid, I overpaid. If I didn't, I didn't. Let's see. All right. As of June 2023, which is when I bought this bottle, I paid $90. All day, every day, would I pay $90 for this? Now, I also paid $90 for this one, this PX Sherry. I'd pay a lot more than that for this. I really love this one. But this new 2023 release is a hitter. It's a winner in my book. Definitely pick it up. If you love barbecue, if you love smokiness in like the world of meat, definitely pick this one up. But I'm curious, if you've tried this, let me know in the comments below. Or if you tried a previous Cairdeas and you like a little bit better. Like I said, I love the past 3 years releases now. Let me know. I'm curious to hear what your favorite is. But until next time, cheers, and I'll see y'all next video. And that's the end of that review. Wow, I appreciate. Holy shiza, that's going in the review. That was in the eyeball. Wow. Nothing ends the night like Cask Strength Isla Scotch in the eyeball. Oh my god. At least I finished the recordings before that happened. I got a little too excited. Ouch. Jesus. That hurt. You know what's funny is like I've spilt whiskey several times before, but I've never spilt a Cask Strength whiskey in my eyeball. It splashed. Wow, that was fun. Whew. I'm okay now. I'm okay. That was not fun. I keep falling for the end of the reviews, end of the stream. I know. I just have to include it because I can't not include it. All right, I'm good now. That just caught me by surprise. As you can tell, I'm a mess. I was swirling it too quick. It's all good. I'm good now. But you know what's also good for? The Wheel of Whiskey giveaway. I'm giving y'all a last chance. Listen, you get 1 ounce samples of every single bottle I've tried tonight, plus a bonus pour. I'll give y'all like 2 more minutes if anyone's interested. There are quite a few entries tonight. So if you are curious about joining, of course, you can join the Discord to find the details of that. Link is in the description and a pinned message in the chat. But I'll give y'all about like 1.5 more minutes just to make sure anyone's curious. Need to do a blooper reel from the stream. I know, right? I know. Oh man, but we have so many great entries. And what did y'all think? What do y'all think would be your favorite? Let me know in the chat. Like of all the ones we tried tonight, what would be your favorite? Because I'm curious. I was really surprised by that Cairdeas. I was not expecting to like it nearly as much as I did. Now, don't get me wrong. The Old Fitz was fantastic. The Old Fitz was actually first time trying it on the channel. No regrets there. It was really good. Tony Bag of Donuts coming in with the last minute super chat. Not Patrick. Well, Tony, we'll see. We'll see. That happened to me when we went to that whiskey bar when you were in town. That Dog Creek Rye got in my eye. Oh, you're right. Oh, when I wasn't looking. Oh no, I missed it. I did miss it, but good to know. Johnny said Laphroaig would be his, not be his. Yeah, I think the Laphroaig was incredible. Really, really good. All right, I'm gonna get the Wheel of Whiskey set up. Again, thank y'all for bearing with me doing a bit of a different kind of stream. I'm curious to see. I'm gonna do that breakout and see how it does, like the individual reviews. I'm really curious to see how that does. But if it doesn't do well, I won't do it again. Don't worry. But I'm counting up y'all's entries now to the Wheel of Whiskey. Got to make sure everyone is accounted for. Thank y'all again for all the super chats. Y'all are incredible. I really do appreciate it. And especially like with a stream like this, I feel like, you know what? I love giving back. Most of these were sent to me by the brands, so I can't like hoard it all to myself. I don't know. I just feel like I love sharing, and I don't get enough chance to share it with local folks. I mean, I do occasionally, but I just don't get enough chance to. So I love being able to share it with you guys. All right. Tallying up the votes now. I'm like halfway a bot, halfway a real person doing this, so appreciate y'all bearing with me. I see you, Zofa. You're in. Don't worry. I'm making sure everyone is in for the allocated amounts that they are. It'd be great to have an assistant, but you know, the bot does a pretty good job, I will say. All right. I think it's time to do the cutoff. All right, no more super chats. No more entries to the Wheel of Whiskey. Again, thank you all so much for watching tonight and for joining. I think maybe some people join the Discord. We'll see. No, y'all are already there. Of course, makes sense. But I like, you know, I don't like directly calling it out. Sometimes it's like weird to do that. But I think it's time to close it out for the night with one of our favorite things to do. You already know what it is. Let me get it ready. Hold on. It's coming. All right. Y'all ready for the Wheel of Whiskey? Thank you, Alfonso. All right. So everyone who has entered, you are on this list. Don't worry. I've double checked. You are all good. We're going to spin this. Someone is going to win all 4 samples we tried tonight, plus a bonus sample of something am I choosing. We'll see what we find. But again, thank you to everyone that watched live, those of you watching the replay or the individual videos. I appreciate you. Please hit the thumbs up on those videos or the replay. It does really help out the channel. But now let's give away some whiskey. Let's spin the Wheel of Whiskey. Taste and sensibility. I think it's actually the first time you've won on the channel. Congratulations. Hope you're still here. If you're not, someone tag them on all the social media. Wow, congratulations. Message me either on Instagram or send me an email, contact@bourbonbites.com with your mailing info. I will hand deliver that to you. I'm going to walk it to your house. And congratulations. That's so exciting. I love when they're like someone, don't get me wrong, I love when anyone wins, but I love even more when someone that's never won has won. So definitely, those of you that know them, get in touch, please. Oh, there you go. Yes, shoot me a message. Instagram, contact@bourbonbites.com. Congratulations. I'm glad that you're here. So yeah, you're gonna get these. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. You gotta review these. I gotta see that. So I see Chris and Lil are here at the very end of the night. Lil just got home from work after starting at 1 a.m. and I go on to nights tonight. Well, Chris and Lil, you'll have a moment. Join us in the after party. Y'all know how it works. Patreon.com/bourbon bites if anyone wants to get in on the after party. But again, thank y'all all so much for being here. This was so much fun. I look forward to this every Thursday night. If you're not yet subscribed, hey, hit the subscribe button. I go live, like I said, every Thursday night. Wow, surprise. I also do a Dungeons and Dragons stream on Dungeons and Drams every Monday night at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. I'm here every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Wow, I just messed that up. I'm here at 10 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. Time zones suck, y'all. They really do. Can we like get rid of them? Let's get rid of daylight savings time first. Then we'll work about time zone. We'll see what happens next. But hey, thank y'all so much for watching. Was an absolute blast. I'll see y'all next week. Don't know what's for in store. I think I'm gonna have some barrel craft spirits. So it's been a minute since we've done any barrel on the channel, but I'm excited to dive into their new releases. So cheers. See y'all next week. And until then, have a great week. I don't have an outro. This has been Bourbon Bites, whiskey reviews with an 80s twist. Make sure to don't miss the movie night coming up in probably next weekend or the following weekend. So keep an eye out. Patreon. Cheers. See y'all next week. Bye.